Hi guys, Dave here, back again. Said I was going to do a follow-up, and I am going to do. This is Firewire Gem, a bit of a part two. If you check out the video for the review, or if you've already seen it, you'll know that I really like this board. First off, the minute I rode it, and I reviewed it quite quickly. I'd only ridden it once. Me and this bad boy are both fresh from the water, and I've been riding this board all week, and I have ridden it in knee-high, crumbly waves all the way up to tonight. Was well overhead and clean and down the line. Waves like easily the height of this ceiling, no problem. And I think I'm going to say this is the best all-round longboard I have ever ridden, which is pretty big statement, but it's like, honestly, I think this is like the board. If you want an all-round board, this thing's amazing. I'm absolutely stoked with it. So in the small waves, it catches waves reasonably well. Like I say, it's not quite as easy wave catching as like the specialty, but it's really not that far off. It's got great speed, it's really maneuverable, and it'll trim. So I'm not really much of a nose rider, but I'm pretty sure it'll nose ride as well. As you can see, I mean, check out the review for the full details on the board. But as you can see, you know, the rails stay quite parallel, a bit like the specialty. The tail tucks in nicely. It's got a bit more rocker than the specialty. It's a bit more thinned out than the specialty. The rail's really hard in the back, and it's quite a thin tail in the back. Again, say check out the reviews. This is really just to talk about the board and what it rides in. So, like I say, the start of this week was a little bit crumbly, semi-onshore, but the waves were peeling quite nicely, and they were down to like knee-high, and I was having no problems on this. This guy's out on their 9.4 retros, and I'm catching waves pretty similar, which is pretty amazing. And the board was holding its speed, and you could go down to the trough and up into the peak, and then that's on my backhand as well, which is quite hard to do in a small wave. And then picked up a bit later in the week. It cleaned up a bit, and the sets were coming through, just like waist to chest high, and again amazing in that. And then tonight I just got back from work, and it was like, it looked pretty good from the beach, but it was a pumping like 3 to 5 foot, possibly even a bit bigger. I paddled over some of the biggest waves I've seen here. We don't get big waves here, but like for me it was plenty for me. And this goes in everything. It was it takes off good. You can take off late. You can screen down the line. You can get in early. You can turn off the tail nicely. You can really carve it around well. So yeah, I'm really stoked with this. Again, have a look at the main review, but I'll just show you again, like, fairly sensible rocker profile on there. The tail pulls into this nice diamond tail at the back. The nose isn't super wide. It's a 2+1, but you could probably still run it as a single. It's got a big nose concave that goes to about here, and then from there all the way back is heaps of double and V, and this seems to really give it the speed and drive, and the tail gives it that manoeuvrability. I think you're getting some really good release off this nice little diamond tail here. So yeah, that's just a bit of a follow-up on the board. Honestly, if you want an all-rounder, this thing's amazing. Like I thought the specialty was good, but this thing's absolutely blown me away. It's fast, but it also is really manoeuvrable, which is quite hard to find in a board. It's like, this parallel rail probably makes it go quite fast, but off the tail it turns really well. You can ride it a little bit out of position and it's still happy. So yeah, so I'll just go quickly over some fins because I've got some in front of me now. I don't know if you're as much of a geek as me, but I've been hitting about 25 square inches on the centre fin, and then I've just got these Futures SB1 side bites in there, and that's worked really well for me, and I'm 84 kgs. So just to give you a bit of an idea of what you might want to set it up with fins. So that's a Brothers Marshall 7.5 captain fin, and the Futures SB1 side bites, and that's worked really nicely for me. I've also used the 7.5 Greeno 4A and with the same side bites, and that's been fine. And I've got a couple of options to go down a little bit. One of them I've actually just ordered. I've got a 7-inch Greeno 4A and and the side bites that are 3.7 from True Aims, and True Aims are their fins are really nice, and they're actually quite reasonably priced. We're in New Zealand, but I can get them in from the US at a fairly reasonable price because the dollar's quite good. And then if you're on FCS, you could try something like a 7-inch Connect with some GL or GX side bites, and then you could try the Kai Salis. So I'll just pop around and show you a couple of those fins just so you can get an idea. So here's the Kai Salis. That's a really nice fin. That's one of the performance. That's one of the really good longboarders. That's his performance fin. That's in the 7. You can get that in the 6.5 as well. So depending on your weight, if you're a bit lighter, if you're a bit heavier than me, you probably want the 7. If you're a bit lighter than me, you might want the 6.5. And then these Greeno 4As are like pretty much my go-to fin in most boards. That's the 7-inch. I've also got the 7.5. So the 7.5 works in that. The 7 is the same surface area as the Brothers Marshall 7.5, and then the 7.5 of the Greeno is a bit more than the Brothers Marshall. And then that's the sort of size side bite I've been using. That's the 3.7 True Aims side bites that comes with a set if you buy them as a set. And the Futures SB1s are a fiberglass, and they're a little bit more raked, and that Brothers Marshall fin's a little bit more raked as well. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just wanted to basically follow up and say this board works in everything and it goes absolutely incredible. So if you're into like semi-performance longboarding, or if you want a performancey board but you don't want like the TJ Pro, which is like, you know, they're running really low litres and very high rocker. If you want an all-rounder, this thing is handling 1 foot slop to 5 foot clean. It's more like, it's a beach brake here, but it breaks more like a point brake, so it's nice and peely and rolly. It's not hollow wave, but yeah, that hangs in, it turns well, just does everything really well. So if you're looking for a board in that size with that sort of volume, say mine's the 9.1, I think it's running 67 litres, and I think it's 22.25 wide. Just does everything. You know, I've got like a bit more of a retro as well. If you look at my other reviews, I've still got my CJ Nelson, but this bad boy's basically doing it all for me. So unless I just fancy riding something different, I would say anything over, well, anything really, but anything over 1.5 foot, you can get that out, and yeah, it just absolutely cranks, and it's fast and it turns well. So yeah, so well done Dan Mann again. This just an amazing shape. Dan Mann's probably one of the best shapers that's not so well known, and he's just a really nice guy. So and if you want to listen to something about him, there's actually a really good podcast on Firewire that tells you about his background. Like it's really interesting. So he's really done the hard yards, and he's done a lot of ghost shaping for other people, and had a really stressful hard work lifestyle, and then turned that around. So he's got a life that he loves now. And just a bit of a side note, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. So there's the gem. That's it for me. Thanks for getting involved, guys. There's like more people subscribing and watching, and just gonna say to people as well, just have a look at some of my information on fins. Not enough people look at the fins and what they can do for them and how to set them up. So and not a lot of people look at those guides. So see if you can, if you want to learn a little bit about fins. I'm no guru, but you know, that's my opinion, and have a bit of a look on there, because I think a lot of people sort of overlook fins as part of making their board magic. It's actually really important. So yeah, cheers guys, sorry to ramble on a bit, but the gem, buy one, it's awesome. See ya.